Hey, Jen Frost here, your personal fulfillment coach. I hope you are having a fabulous day and welcome to day 4 of the 6-part video training series on the 6 phases of success. Today we are going to be talking about action. It's going to be really great. But first I want to recap on what we've already talked about with the first 3 days of the phases of success. And the first phase, before we talk about the first phase, let's talk about what success is and how it's really cool that success can be whatever you define it to be. Everyone's perception of success is different. So the first thing to do is really decide for yourself, what is it that success looks like for you? That could be just living a life of ease and flow and knowing that when you wake up every morning, you're doing exactly what you were put on this earth to do. That can be waking up excited about doing that thing that you want to do. That can also mean financial freedom or having perfect health and great relationships and supportive people around you that are encouraging you and lifting you up to grow every day. Can be having success in your career where you're very respected in your field. It can be being an entrepreneur who has been able to go out on their own and start whatever career you want for yourself. There's a lot of definitions of success, and it's a very personal thing. But it doesn't matter which version of success you're after. This 6-phase system is going to be able to help you get there. So that being said, what is the first phase? The first phase is figuring out what it is that you want to achieve, because it's very difficult to move towards a goal or move towards this success when you haven't defined what it looks like to you. So that is the first phase. The second phase is all about your attitude and mindset and what it is in your mindset that has kept you from achieving this in the past. And also, what are you going to do to maintain the right kind of an attitude to be able to have this success going forward. So that was the second phase, day 2 of our training. And then day 3 was alignment. And alignment comes in a couple different pieces, but the big thing to look at with alignment in this little short summary is, are your day-to-day tasks that you're doing aligned with the goals that you have set? And are those goals still aligned with that long-term vision that you have for yourself? And reevaluating that on a regular basis is going to help you to be able to move towards having the achievement that you want and having that success that you want. So that, in a nutshell, is the first 3 days. If you want to have any further information on any of those topics, please go back and review the first 3 days of the series. And now on to number 4, in which is all about action. So the first cool thing about action is, if you've done your homework and you've done the work on the first 3 phases, taking action on the things that you want to take action on is going to be a lot easier than it ever has before, because you already know what it is you want to be taking action on. You've set your intentions there. You have dove into the mindset piece, and you've put your attitude in a place where you know that this is something that's important. It's something that you want to focus on, and you're excited about it, and you're grateful for all of these awesome opportunities that are going to come to help you achieve what it is you want. And you know that what you're planning to do is going to be aligned with those goals. So there you go. We're done. Action's easy, right? So maybe not so much. I think sometimes, even when you have all the pieces in place, it still comes down to the day-to-day, and it still comes down to where you're spending your time, focusing your energy on a day-to-day to actually take action on making this stuff happen. So I'm going to give you 3 different things you can do to help move forward in taking action on these awesome, awesome goals that you have. So the first thing that I recommend is to do an evaluation of where you're spending your time right now. We each get 24 hours in a day, and we obviously need to eat, we need to sleep. I hope that you include exercise in there somewhere. And then what are you doing with the rest of that time? More often than not, you're spending at least 8 hours working. So hopefully that work that you're doing is aligned with what it is that you want to achieve. If not, that's something that can also be evaluated. But where are you putting that time? How much time are you wasting on social media, just scrolling through, being distracted? How much time are you spending just sitting on the couch watching television? How much time are you spending doing stuff that is not related to this awesome goal that you have. So much of our day is spent on all of these things that we think we should be doing, the tasks that other people give us rather than ourselves. So evaluate that. Spend the first, a couple of days just really noticing where you're spending your time. And from there, I bet you could find yourself a good, couple of hours. Maybe for some of you that have been really good till now, maybe it's only 30 minutes. But I guarantee you there are some hidden moments in your day where you can take that time and start to apply it towards the goals that you want to have. Even if you are spending 8 hours a day working and then you need to spend 8 hours a day sleeping, that still gives you 8 hours a day to be able to focus on whatever it is that you want to be doing. So that's the first thing. Evaluate where you're spending your time now. Second thing is one of my favorite tips to give people, and you may or may not have heard of it. It's called Eating the Frog, and this comes from a book, which I believe is by the same name. And the idea behind this is that you want to do the hardest thing first in the morning. So once you are aligned with what it is you're doing, and you know what things you need to do and accomplish to get towards your goal, you're going to look at that list and you're going to see some things, and you're going to know, if you are honest with yourself, you're going to know which ones you've been procrastinating on. And why have you been procrastinating on these things? Probably because there's something going on with that attitude or that mindset that is holding you back from doing it. But what's happening is when you are procrastinating, and I like to say procrastination is a symptom. It's not the problem. So we need to dive in and figure out why you're procrastinating. And once we start to dive into that, we're going to find that oftentimes when we are procrastinating, we aren't just not getting the thing done, we're also wasting so much time avoiding it. So if you can actually figure out what it is that you are procrastinating on, why you're avoiding it, eliminate that, and then actually take action on it first thing in the morning, you are going to just 10x your productivity right there. You're going to start to work on that thing right away, and then you are going to have more time in the day to focus on everything else. You're also going to have a good, you're going to be really proud of yourself because you actually did do something and you did take some action first thing. So that momentum is going to pull you through the day as you go. So that is the second thing that I want you to do. I want you to eat that frog. I want you to figure out what it is, and I want you to do it first thing in the morning. Now, the next thing is also related to that, because I know a lot of people are like, yeah, right, Jen, there's no way I can do this first thing in the morning. I have this standing meeting I have to be at every single morning. I've got to do it. I always end up dealing with all of my emails first thing in the morning. There's no way that I could possibly focus on this thing first thing in the morning. Well, that leads into my third recommendation for you, and that is, who is setting your schedule? Are you setting your schedule, or are you letting everybody else dictate what you're going to do with your time that day? I bet for most of you, what is the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Is it check your phone for your email and see what notifications you have? And all of a sudden, you haven't even left your bed or your bedroom yet, and you're already putting out a fire that somebody else has sent you in an email? They've just derailed your entire day just by doing that. You derailed your entire day, because you're the one that has the control to decide where you're going to put your energy. So by letting them send you this, receiving this email from them and you responding to this means that they have now set your intention for your day rather than you. So it's really important that the first thing you do when you open your eyes is you decide where you're going to put your energy and what is that intention that you have for the day. And then as you are setting up your schedule, look at who is deciding these things you're going to do. Are you always reacting to emails? It might be time to set a time to check your emails so that you can get the other things done in between. And what else are you doing? Who else is demanding this time from you? Are you always having people coming into your office and asking for just a few minutes of your time to talk about this or talk about that? One of my favorite things to tell them is, I really want to focus on this right now. What you're talking about is really important to me. But if I tried to help you right now, I would not be able to give you my full attention. So let's set up a time where we can have a conversation and we can talk about this later so that I can give you my full attention. That way you can still help them with whatever it is, but they are not now dictating your schedule. Another really cool trick with that is to block time on your schedule ahead of time so that people can't book meetings back to back for you and you have time to get stuff done. So those are just a few tips you can do to determine who is setting your schedule. So when it comes to taking action, the 3 recommendations for today are: 1, evaluate where you're spending your time right now; 2, eat that frog, do it first thing in the morning; and 3, determine who is setting your schedule and make it your own. So that is it for action. I'd love to hear what steps you're going to take to have more action in your life towards your awesome goals. So drop a note in the comments and stay tuned tomorrow for day 5, where we're going to talk all about accountability. So that's another one that we want to chat with you about tomorrow. So we'll catch up then. Have a great one. Bye.